I love that cartoon is a classic.
I like Whoville.
The cartoon, I mean, The Grinch Is Stole Christmas, classic cartoon.
I like Whoville a lot. In fact, I would live in Whoville if my wife would let me.
Where the hell's Whoville?
Now, Eric, you do a lot of movies, and you were just doing a movie just this past week.
Yeah.
Where you broke your finger.
I only dislocated it. It's not broken, just dislocated.
Right, but now you have RoboFinger. You do a lot of movies. What are the movies in your career before we have a phone call? We have a phone call that's coming.
Well,
up.
here's kind of transpired over the past like 3 or 4 years. My wife, who's my manager, who's my boss, says to me, you know, you want to retire in a year and a half? Okay, fine. But here's what we're doing in the interim. I said, what? She goes, you're going to help every young filmmaker who needs you. And
wow.
She has basically sent me to every major American city, every minor American city, every major American town, every minor American town, to make a movie for a young filmmaker who is basically shooting a movie on a little camera by himself with a light. And so I've been doing that. I've been appearing in, not always starring in these movies, but appearing in these movies, maybe 6 or 8 movies a year.
Can I just say how brilliant I think Eliza is, because that is so philanthropic, because you're helping these young filmmakers. Secondly, it's a way for you to break out of some of these other types of projects, and you never know with these indie movies, you know, they can blow up.
True, they can, but that's not why we're doing it.
It's also, you're giving back to the community. You're giving back to the artistic community in that way.
We're doing them because Eliza wants to help these filmmakers. Wow, do I hear an echo? Let's take the caller now.
Let's take the caller.
Is it Al?
Okay.
We'll ask him.
No, it's not Al. This is Casey down in Hollywood, South New Orleans.
How's it going?
Dramatist.
How's it going, pal?
It's good.
Cool.
Happy holidays,
good.
buddy.
I think what you're doing is great. I want to talk about your broken finger. You know, a lot down here. There's just a lot of work to be done in the industry, and the Sunday Brian Steele. I was involved in the Kevin Monroe production and Dylan Dog Dead of Night with Brandon Ruth. And Brian actually wound up getting hurt on set. People don't realize how real it is when you're on set and filming. You know, emotions run high, and stuff happens. So I actually got this fill in for the Sunday Kevin Monroe in the leading role as the tattooed zombie. And it took like 2 guys to shove me into this suit, this monster suit. And it took literally 2 guys with a bottle of KY jelly and profuse sweating. You know, they want to give you IVs and stuff in the summer heat. It's no fun. Filming is no fun. It could be very grueling.
Well,
He's right. He's right.
Yeah. Thank you for your call. That was great. That was great. It does show that, like, you know, in the industry, anything can happen. It's not, especially, you know, when you're dealing with practical effects and practical stunts. It's not all. There's so much stuff is digital these days. I always prefer the stuff when it's real. You can't fake that stuff. So now Al should be calling us anytime, right?
Yeah, Al's supposed to call, and I'd say in 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Right, and what's interesting about Al is Al's had a very good life. He's had lots of success. He's won an Oscar. He deserved 3, but he's won 1. In fact, Al, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but the one you won it for was not one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. But the other 3 that you earned, you were nominated for 2 of them, and great work. But you know, hell, Al, you know that. Anyway, what's that mean? Hey,
Druga, have a safe one, dude. I have no idea what LA Mike is saying.
Huh.
I have no idea what he's saying.
Al Sharpton?
Yes. Right. But I do appreciate Babyface Killa, who says I look like Jimmy Fallon with bleached hair.
Hey.
I will take that comment.
As he says that,
I actually think it's, you know, I'm like Mr. Frosty.
Here's a question.
Mr. Frosty question.
Have you ever filmed or visited New Orleans? And if so, what was your experience there like? So you're from New Orleans. I am too. I spent the first 7 years of my life in New Orleans living on a boat. And
what is that like to live on a boat? First of all, New Orleans is a great town.
Yeah.
You know what the great thing about New Orleans? It's always happy hour.
It's the greatest food in America, too.
Unbelievable food. It's always happy hour. The people, the character. There is a vibe in that town that is palpable. It's amazing city. But you lived on a boat there. What was it like to live on a boat?
Well, I can only...
I'm talking about like going to sleep and like doing like so you owned the boat, I assumed.
My mom and dad did, yeah. I can only tell you from a child's perspective. But it was like living in a big tree house.
It sounds like it'd be fun. So you were a kid at that time?
Yeah, I was tiny.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that just seems, I don't know, it seems like something kind of romantic about it. At the same time, would seem to cause problems. Like,
I remember being bored a lot, and I remember it was not special to look at.
Right.
Below deck. Yeah. It was not beautiful.
Maybe you were bored, maybe just because they didn't have Wi-Fi on the boat.
And I was a kid.
And you were a kid.
I was a baby to about 5 years old in that boat.
Right. You own you own a business. Okay, I missed the comment, but that's okay.
What's that?
So Al is just about to call us. I know we've been building up to this Al call.